A lot of things to talk about regarding this game. Detroit at Cleveland, game 3 just commenced. And a lot of things to talk about, right? Now, it's very clear to me. It's a very clear-cut thing to me that Cade Cunningham, we all know, I've been saying it, he's the best point guard in the East. But he needs help. Like, he can't be the only option with plays like this. He had back-to-back clutch plays. And of course, he had faults, which I'm going to mention later. Of course, I have to bring it up. The 3 turnovers back-to-back didn't help any more and didn't help any less. But it's a shame to me that Cade Cunningham has to score 25 plus points for the Pistons to even have a chance in games. We saw it versus the Magic. He has to consistently score 25 plus points. And Jalen Duren, man, it's a shame. I'm going to be honest, it's a shame. Because we have plays like that from Cade Cunningham. This is what he has to do, because who can he look to score the ball? You have guys like Paul Reed, right? And Paul Reed, he sent out a tweet, a mysterious tweet where he was like, stay ready, or stay ready 7, or something like that, right? As in whenever, they need me, I have to be ready. Well, Paul Reed, it's a shame that I have to say this, but Paul Reed all playoff series has been outperforming Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren's getting outperformed by the Pistons' 3rd string center. All playoff series, and it's a shame. Who would I want playing? And it's a shame that we would even have to question that, because, and I'm not saying give up on Jalen Duren. He's a 22-year-old center. You don't give up on him, but you don't want to question things like if Cade Cunningham was playing with a Nick Claxton type of center, would they be in the same position that they're in right now? Would they still be contending and, be in a playoff position in the same exact position? You don't even want to question that. And of course, I think that Jalen Duren's a better player and a better center than Nick Claxton, but you don't even want to question things like that because Cade Cunningham needs a player in clutch time situations, and the coach draws up plays like this, and it's a clutch time scenario where, Cade Cunningham's inbounding the ball, and they need a player to step up and give the Pistons a chance to stay in the game. Who's Cade Cunningham going to pass the ball to? It's a play drawn for Duncan Robinson. That's a problem. I'm sorry, that is a problem. Duncan Robinson can't be the number 2 option on the Pistons. You want Cade Cunningham to have a center of the future for the next coming years that you don't even have to question. Like Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton had Ben Wallace. You didn't have to question that. Jalen Duren, just a lot of the times, especially in this postseason, there are plays that are very questionable, and the Pistons are going to have to go through this if they want to win a championship. The Pistons, this isn't going to be the only time they're put in situations like this. And of course, I still got the Pistons in about winning in about 5 or 6 games this playoff series. But let's just be real. They're going to have to be battle tested, or they're going to have to be in way more situations like this. If they're in clutch time situations and they're crumbling like this, then what's it going to look like versus a series in the conference finals versus the New York Knicks that look like they're on fire right now? What's it going to look like if they end up making the finals and they have to face that team out of the West? Well, what's that going to look like? Cade Cunningham is looking like he's got to have all this burden on his shoulders because not really anybody's stepping up as far as, a second solidified offensive player. Well, then what's that going to look like for the next coming future, which is what the Pistons are going to have to consider. And of course, Cade Cunningham has to have the slander as well because, as a fan of the team and of course a fan of Cade Cunningham, well, James Harden, this guy right here, got slandered beyond belief by ESPN media. I saw a clip of Stephen A questioning his Hall of Fame eligibility.
I'm going to say this to James Harden. Your status is on the verge of being revoked.
Former players like Lou Williams, I just saw, was talking about him.
I just don't feel like his game has evolved in the past 5 years to another level.
Obviously, he's having bad games, but turnovers was like the main priority in their brain. Cade Cunningham is leading the NBA in turnovers this postseason. That's right. every single NBA player that's playing in the playoffs right now, he's leading them in turnovers. He had 8 turnovers alone this game. That's a problem. If Cade Cunningham has less than 5 turnovers, I guarantee you the Pistons, they would have a way better chance of winning this game in Cleveland if he just mitigates those turnovers. But yeah, the Pistons are going to have some conversations, and I hope they do, because, you know, man, for them to get to a championship level, you know, they're so close. They're at like a conference finals level. They're even a finals level. But I don't know if they're a championship team. Like, they can get to the finals, but can they win a championship? Can they beat a team like Oklahoma? Can they beat a team like the Spurs in 7 games? Can they do that? I can't say it confidently if Cade Cunningham doesn't have that second option offensively on his team, where in clutch situations like this, he can throw the ball to, and you wouldn't have to, you know, worry. Like, you would be glad that that person's on the team and they can create something offensively. Because defensively, the Pistons are amazing. But offensively, there needs to be another player that can also take that load and burden, like I said earlier, off the shoulders of Cade Cunningham in situations like this. And in games like this, in a playoff series like this,